Every now and then, this woman that's staying here, I've seen her before at the city mission now and then, keeps coming in and checking on me. You tired yet? Oh, trying to act like she's getting around me, like she's posing for a photo with me or something. Um, you know, it's not entertainment that is the sin. Placations is the sin. And if you placate in any fashion, then you need to not placate anymore. If it's you're placating, like, say I'm sitting here speaking, there's an actress or somebody who's paid to mouth the words I'm saying as I'm saying them. They edit it and make a movie out of it, for example. It's robbing me of my privacy, in the very least, my privacy and my life. So that's why Jesus hates this form of entertainment. But I'm not down with that. You see me. I'm not. What did the conduit say? I missed that. Can you play that back for me? I mean, here we all are in a frigging homeless shelter. All right, you're piggybacking off of me and everybody else in here for some reason or another to get your entertainment and to write your next book and to get your next comedic bit or to get your next Saturday Night Live skit, if that is what they're guilty of. I don't know. So I understand Jesus's anger, and I mean Jesus the Christ, and I also mean the lesser Jesuses, those who are believers in Jesus the Christ, who have his very essence in them, and they feel like that we have to be, or women, I should say, we, obviously I don't count, that many women have to prove themselves to them. Why should I give you what is so precious? But I'm telling you, in their arrogance, they have thrown out so many people, myself included. I mean, it could be anything, and they're just like, no. So after a while, I'm like, yeah, it's because you're gay. It's because you're a fag or something that you would treat a woman like this. Or you just prefer your life as it is, or you're way too young, or you're not ready. But I told this woman, I said, ma'am, excuse me, how old do I look to you? She goes, 25. I said, I'll have you know I'm 46. Well, you take good care of yourself. I said, yeah, well, someone's trying to kill me because I should look better than this even. I mean, you look at the very first frame on all of my YouTube clips. It's used, like I jokingly said in another YouTube account, I'm like, I've got to end this in a smile because it's, or it's, So we'll see what this one turns out to be. And it's not cute. I don't have a relationship with this motherfucker that's rigging my YouTube posts. This is just my diary playing out, and a means to save room on a phone with no memory card or very limited space on a memory card for my previous YouTube clips. I'm like, hey, might as well get it out there, put it up there, see what happens, see if anybody comments. I had one comment on one of my recent ones. Are you mad? Yeah. I don't think he meant angry. It was one of the silly ones where I'm like, I don't know why I'm single. I don't know. I mean, so why am I the enemy to the everyday person? They had to come up with a reason to get the everyday person to turn me into an enemy. She's a racist. No, not really. That many people took one look at me and labeled me a potential racist is racist, for one thing. And for another thing, that somebody would think that I'm a widowmaker. No. I wasn't the one that said placate the shot, placate this, placate that. And they know what that means. I wasn't your chief, I wasn't your captain, and I wasn't your lieutenant, and I wasn't your sergeant. I wasn't those things. When I was very young, I had to have a total thyroidectomy. After that, you don't act right. And when you look at your grandparents with their, I mean, you see pill bottles everywhere. And then I see mine, and I'm like, I'm an old lady. I saw it as old before, like 17 years old. Like, no. And then I would say, well, I don't want to take a drug. It wasn't until I was, I think, 20 before somebody said, it's not a drug, it's a hormone, and if you don't take it, you'll die. Although I had people for years telling me, you have to take it. That's why you're falling asleep. I'm not going to sleep at my house. And I would go anywhere I could. I always felt like somebody was interrupting my nap. So I thought it was also like taking a Tylenol. You'd pop it, and 20 minutes later, you're good. I did not understand that it has to be taken over time properly. So my thyroid hormone levels were never right. And it does directly affect your behavior. It's not just, it's not just nothing. And although I was 16, and you have signs and symptoms before you get to that where you have the needle biopsy, and then it comes up as cancer, and then it becomes a total thyroidectomy. It takes years. So probably from the time I started, I began puberty, my thyroid was not behaving right. And I'll be honest with you, I used to be glad. I'd rather have this than have the severity of diabetes that they thought I had, because if I wasn't responsible enough to take one pill every morning on an empty stomach, then how could I ever be responsible enough to manage my sugar diabetes? So that's what I always would say. Well, at least I don't have that. And I don't have diabetes. So stop giving me metformin, because I believe I was given metformin to try to produce ovulation. Look, I could see if I was out there every day smoking and choking with these crackheads, or whatever they can get their frigging hands on. I think they're even picking up rock salt off the sidewalk and thinking it's crystal meth so they could smoke that too. They're throwing their lives away on a regular basis. I am not. I'm fighting for my life and my reputation.